very simple shape that we can use to navigate our way through a 12-bar blues while easily mixing major and minor sounds. Hello and welcome back to the channel on our continuing voyage to become better blues players. My name's Mark, and in this lesson we're going to look at using the BB box over a 12-bar blues in the key of A. The way the lesson's going to work, I'm going to quickly recap the notes that make up the BB box, then I'll give an explanation of how we use these to navigate our way through the various bars of a 12-bar blues. Then there'll be an example solo where I'll show you, I think it's like, 6 licks that take us through a 12-bar blues using the BB box. And then I'll come back on the other side and we'll pull all those licks apart and I'll show you note by note. If you want to skip all the theory and you want to avoid the explanation, you can skip ahead right now and just go straight to the example, and that'll have tab on screen. You can work just from the tab and you don't need to listen to me talking on. Okay, on with the lesson. So the first thing to mention is the BB box is fantastic for blues, except minor blues. If you want to play minor blues, just stick to the minor pentatonic. Don't use the BB box. The BB box is great when we want to mix major and minor sounds, which isn't appropriate for 12-bar blues in a minor key. So we're in a 12-bar blues in the key of A, A major, A7, A dominant, well, any of those that you want to call it. Okay, so the notes. I've covered all this in previous lessons. We've had lessons on the theory, we've had a lesson on using a BB box in blues rock, using a BB box in over an 8-bar blues, and now we're doing 12-bar blues. But in case you missed those lessons, and I'll put links to them in the description down below, quickly recap the notes. We're in the key of A, we're going to find the A note on the B string, I'm going to use our index finger, so that's the 12th fret, and we're going to play 10th fret and 12th fret on the top E, 10th fret and 12th fret on the B string, and we're also going to use our middle finger for playing the 11th fret. But the root note, everything hangs off this note here. This one's most important, 10th fret of the B string, and that's going to sound like this. And as I explained in previous lessons, the beautiful thing about this is those 12th fret notes, those two of them, we can grab them and we can bend them up a whole tone, we can bend them up a little bit, we can do all kinds of nice things with them. If we bend them up a whole tone, what we effectively do is we get the like the major sounds, the major pentatonics sort of sound. What we've also got around there is box position 3 of the minor pentatonic. So we've got some minor notes that we can throw in, which is the 13th fret of the B string. We can also throw in the blues note, which is the 11th fret of the top E, and we've got the 12th fret of the G string. So if I play just those notes, I'm also going to include this one here as well, which is the E, which is both major, it fits both major and minor, but that's 9th fret of the G string. So put all those together, here's our root note, and those minor notes, they sound like this. So you notice that's got that kind of much minor, darker, bluesier tone compared with the major tone. That's very major, now minor. And as I explained in previous lessons, the beautiful thing about this is they're both right there hanging off this 10th fret of the B string. You've got access to both of those sounds. Okay. So when we go through a 12-bar blues, and what I'll do now is I'll put the 12 bars of a 12-bar blues on screen in the key of A. What we can do is over those A7 bars, those first 4 bars of a 12-bar blues, we can use either major sounds or minor sounds. And it sounds kind of nice when we mix them together, but particularly if we lean into more of that major sound. Then when we go to the D, or the D7 in this case, we really want to lean into the minor notes. In fact, over the D and the E chords, it's best to focus in on the minor sounds. Don't use the major sounds. And then again over that last 4 bars, actually, just all sounds great when that's minor. When we do it like that. So what I'll do now is you are about to hear me play a 12-bar blues in the key of A using this concept. So first 4 bars leaning more major, then over the D chord and the E chords leaning more into the kind of the minor sounds. Yeah, here's the example, then we'll come back on the other side and we'll pull it apart note by note. Okay, so that was the example then. If you would like a copy of the tab that accompanies this lesson, it's totally free of charge. Send me an email. Next time online, I'll hit reply and send you it back as an attachment. You're not signing up for anything. It's just the easiest way I can get the tab to you. But please ask for the tab for this lesson, which we'll call BB Box 12 bar in A. So if you send me the email, ask for Mark, please can I have the BB Box 12 bar in A tab? Next time online, hit reply and you get the PDF. Okay, also please like, subscribe, all of those kind of things, particularly if you want a copy of the tab. I'd really appreciate it if you drop the like as well. Those kind of things help me out. All right, on with the lesson. We'll go through the licks. So we start with lick 1. Lick 1 starts with a 4-beat counting, a 1 bar 4-beat counting, and then we're in. And lick 1 actually starts during that count, but basically goes over the first 4 bars, so that A chord, and it goes like this. I'll play it through and then we'll do it again nice and slow. 1, 2, 3. Okay, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3. Okay, only tricky thing in here is watching those bends. We've got the first one, which is kind of like almost like we're snatching at the note. So that there, it's pulling up and killing the note as we go up. And then the second one, we're going to bend up, hold, and then grab the top E string with our little finger at the 12th fret. So that then goes like this. Okay, and again, nice and slow. You can let them ring out. I'm not sure whether I actually did or not in the heat of battle, but there we go. And then we've got another bend, but what we're doing is we're starting with the note bent and we're bringing it back down. That goes like this. Okay, nice and slow. Notice how much we hang on that A note there and shake it about a bit. Okay, so that was lick 1, that was over the A. And so you'd heard like lots of those kind of major sounds, getting this, particularly this 12th fret B string, bending it up whole tone, that's going to give you that real major sound. Okay, lick 2 then goes like this. Okay, and nice and slow. We're in those minor sounds, so we're hitting 13 on the B string instead of hitting 12 on the B string, and we're just giving it a little push up, just not aiming for any particular note, but just pushing the note out of tune. Okay, so that's lick 2. So that was over the D7. So then we go back to the A7 for lick 3, and we're going very major sounding again, and we get this. And nice and slow. And again, we've got this bend where I'm taking the 12th fret on the B string and bringing it all the way up, and then I'm holding it and grabbing 12th fret of the E string underneath it to let them kind of ring out the same time. So you get this. Okay, but then what I'm doing is I'm bringing it down just slightly and then back up as I pick it, and then doing the same thing again. Okay, and I basically do that 3 times, and then we get one of those bend downs. Sorry, wrong note. Okay, so that was lick 3. Lick 3 over the A7 chord, so I'm leaning into those major sounds again. Then we get to lick, where are we? Lick 4. This is going to go over the E7 chord, and it's going to go like this. And nice and slow. I'm specifically targeting here this B on the 12th fret because that note is in the key of E, or rather it's in the chord of E. So if we think our chord progression's hitting an E, so if you could actually imagine an E chord all the way up here, it includes that note there. So I'm targeting that because that's going to sound like it's going to really harmonize with what's going on in the underlying chord. Okay, so a simple one, that one. Then we get to the D7 chord, and we're going to play this lick. And nice and slow. Only tricky thing in this one is you got to watch for that pull off. So we're hitting 10 and then we're doing this pull off between 13, the minor note, and back to the root. Okay, then we're up to lick 6. Lick 6 is now going to go basically over the last 2 bars of the chord progression, and we're going to use the blues scale, and it's going to go like this. Okay, and nice and slow. There's lots of hammer-ons and pull-offs going on this one. Here it is nice and slow, and then we'll pull it apart. Okay, so first thing we've got is, you imagine the blues scale, we've got 12, 11 and 10 of the top E are all there. So we start with the 12 and then we hold 10, hammer onto 11 and pull off again, all as one movement. Okay, and you want to get that as fast and fluid as you can. And then we move down. And do the same thing again, but this time between the 10 and the 13 on the B string. So we've got this one, and then this one. And then we've got this, well, we've got 12 to that move there. So the whole lick, nice and slow, goes like this. And what you'll notice is at the end there, what we're ending up doing is getting back to where we started with this little move here, as the chord progression starts all over again. Okay, so I hope you found that useful. You've got blues scale, you've got major sounds, minor sounds, all of that mixed in, navigating our way through the 12-bar blues. What I'll do now is I'll play the solo over the backing track, leaving you with it again. And what I'll do is I will just carry on playing and improvise over the rest of the backing track to leave you with some of my improvised playing. I hope it's okay. And as I do that, I'll put the names of the Patreon supporters on here, because the Patreon supporters are the ones who pay for all of this to actually happen, and the tab and the lights and everything else. So as a big thank you to them, they get a few extra lessons, some extra videos, they get to shape the content that's on the channel and things, and they get the names at the end of the video to say thank you. So there we go, until next time, here's the solo.